get it going. Let's get it going. All right, I'm so excited for you guys today. I have a special guest, and this guest is near and dear, and you're going to learn some things today that is going to be very, very powerful for your trading career. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. And here's the deal. When we do this interview, it's not going to be an interview that you typically would expect from a guest speaker. So I promise you, stay all the way to the end because I have an agenda for why I brought this particular guest on. And as I finish this interview, you're going to see exactly why I brought this particular guest on. Okay, everybody with me? But let me go over a couple of things. Number one, I want to say thank you to everybody who did purchase our new trading software, the Too Easy system, which is this indicator here, and it comes with this one here for the 99 bucks. The reason why, and let me do this. Let me do this. What you guys have actually done, I'm gonna put the links in there, and you can also contact them and verify whether I'm lying or not. You can ask them, hey, did Super Easy actually do what he said? Okay, so here, I'm gonna post these links in here. What you guys actually did was allow us to generate money to support these organizations, and I just posted them in the group. Unheard of Cries and the World Food Program and Invisible People. Let me tell you about these three organizations before I bring my guest on. Unheard of Cries, they actually are an organization that helps people in Yemen, Ethiopia, and other places in South Africa and other places around the world where people don't have food. And the problem is these situations are so dire and it's not even hitting the public news. I don't know why, but they just sweeping it under the rug. But I mean, it is beyond horrific situations. And because in certain situations, the food that was able to get through to the people who need it is now blocked. So the people have no food, no water, nothing. And so these organizations are trying to find a way to help people to not starve to death along with their children. So that's Unheard of Cries and World Food Organization, which is the second link. The third link is called Invisible People. Invisible People started out of LA. Magic Johnson, the basketball player, and others are supporting this. And even the owner of this company, because of the donations we sent, have reached out with thank you to Super Easy Forex for our donations. This is for homeless people. A lot of times we see homeless and people ignore them and they just treat them like they're nobody. I don't. I was 1 week away from being homeless myself. I will never forget that experience. If it wasn't for the grace of God, it would have been me. It would have been me. So I don't look past people. Like if I was homeless, some of you guys would have looked right past me, not knowing that Super Easy was on the inside of me, but my circumstances were temporarily keeping me down. So Invisible People is an organization that we support. So because of you guys purchasing our new software, which comes with this indicator and this one here, we were able to make thousands of dollars of donations to these organizations in the past week. So again, thank you to you guys. All right. All right. Next, I have my guest is sitting here waiting for me to click on the hand. But before I do that, I want to bring on Miss Liz. Let me unmute Miss Liz. Miss Liz, can you unmute for a second, please?
Yes. Good morning. Hold on. I'm sorry. Good morning, Uncle P.
Good morning, Miss Liz. How are you?
All right. And you?
Good. I don't know if you got my message last night, but Miss Liz, you regularly attend my weekly classes, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And at the end of class yesterday, you had sprung some news on all of us, and we were all excited for you. And I was just hoping that you can kind of share that one more time real quickly, the news that you had sprung to us.
Yes. So I'm nervous, but I'm retired now. I'm retired now. I was working a 9 to 5, and I had come across your YouTube videos on this triple arrow system. Mm-hmm. And I joined maybe about, I guess it's going on 2 years now. But with my 9 to 5, I worked it as I could.
Yep.
And with the advent of COVID and everything, we started working from home, and I was coming up on retirement. And I'm also a Navy veteran.
Yep.
And so I started coming to class as I could. And then I got to the place to where I started trading and making money. And I started, okay, I'm going to start going to class more. I should have been going to more classes. And so, to make a long story short, I recently retired from my 9 to 5 job, and I've been doing the Forex trading full time. And I haven't really lost a trade with the different systems that you've created to help us along in our trading career. And so now I'm fully retired and I'm doing Forex, and I really don't even need my retirement pay right now. So that's a plus that I'm saving that. And the Forex pretty much has given me the ability to actually surpass by far all of my jobs that I've worked, whether it's the military or the 9 to 5 civil service job I had. And I stand to make more money now in my retirement than I did in all of those combined. So that's my testimonial of how this was so timely for me to find this class and this Forex, super easy Forex, because it's something that I've always prayed for. And I also have the dream in my heart to actually make a difference, just like you. So I think it was God that just helped me to find you to where I could actually make a difference with the blessings that I have. And so, with you having the charities and everything, this is just perfect for me in my retirement, because I want to be able to be more involved with the community in helping, being a helping hand, and
Yeah.
even with just the different things in the society, like Hands on Atlanta or Hands on New Orleans, I'm always helping. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much my testimony of how blessed I am to be a part of Forex right now.
Thank you, Ms. Liz. I just want to bring you on. Thank you and congratulations.
Yes, thank you so much, Uncle P.
Yep. And
All
by the way,
right.
one more quick thing. Yesterday we had talked about this, and you've been to my classes a bunch of times, and I have repeatedly said that I clearly see a distinct difference between those who just purchase my indicators, slap them on their charts, and they're just running off thinking they know the markets versus those who show up to class. And
Yes.
remember yesterday I'd asked you, I said, you typically routinely come to class, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then there you go. Number two, last but not least, we do have guests in here and more people are piling in. I just want to be clear, just like I asked yesterday. I know you've been coming to class. Okay, so I know you well from this our Zoom meetings.
Yes, sir.
Do I personally know you?
No, sir.
Have I ever met you personally?
No, sir.
Uh, did I pay you to say what you said?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking, because first thing
No, no.
man, he's a scammer. He must have paid. He must have. No. I don't need to do all that. It's just there was a distinct difference between a trading system with knowledge versus just trading with a trading system or some kind of indicators and you think you know what you're doing. We all
Yeah.
have to work together. So again, thank you, Miss Liz. Congratulations.
You're welcome, Uncle P, and keep up the good work, sir.
Yes, indeed. And by the way, just before we get to my guest, which is up next, I want to say this. That I have said this time and time and time again in our class, and I'm saying it now because we do have a few guests on. My goal is simple. I'm not trying to be the biggest company out there. I know there's IML and all these other. That's cool. I have no problem with them. But my goal is to continue to create testimonies like this to where people are able to glean from this multi-trillion-dollar market. The money, we all know where the money is now. So we know where it is. We just got to learn how to fish it out. And when you begin to make enough money to pay your bills and exceed that, the whole goal is to get your mind off of you making money. Because at that point, your mind should transition out of, okay, great, God has blessed me to make money. How can I go back into the world and make a difference? I'm not trying to wait on a politician or anybody else for something that we can do on our own. Because while they're ignoring problems or they've got their own agenda, people are still suffering, and it doesn't have to be overseas. A lot of these, like Invisible People, are right here in the US, right in your own neighborhood. There are organizations you can support when you get on your feet. That is the whole goal. Okay. All right. So now let's get ready for my guest. All right. And I'm going to, and by the way, this is a live account. See, live account. So this is one of the trades we took last night. Here is another. And then we closed out this one, as you can see right here. Okay. And then Super Easy Forex members, you've seen the post in there. So posted pictures in the group. Okay. So anyway, let me bring my guest on. This is going to be a short interview. So don't worry about it. We're not going to be here long. Like they say in church, I won't be before you long. But then they take 2 hours. That ain't going to happen. We are actually going to keep it short. All right. So let me unmute my guest. All right. Hit the unmute button, Tori. Hit the unmute button. This is our first time using the Zoom, so y'all be patient. Hold on one second. Hey, somebody type in there, how do you hit the unmute button? I'm sorry, I should have did that before. I'm sorry, I should have did that before we. If not, I'll just call her. Hey, Liz, how do you hit that unmute button? Because this, okay, Tori on the left-hand side, tap the mic button. Okay, there you go. Yep, I can hear you good.
Okay.
All right, perfect. So, Tori, good morning.
Good morning, Father.
Good morning, daughter. Everybody, this is actually my daughter. This particular interview is going to be something, don't tune it out because of, oh, that's just his, he's just trying to introduce his kids. That's not the point. This particular interview is going to make a huge impact, hopefully, on your thinking. So please make sure you listen all the way to the end. It's very important because some of you guys, you need to learn something and get yourself back to your origins. For an example, how many of you guys remember back when you first started? Actually, let me do this. Torian. All right, I got a question for you.
Okay.
What is Fibonacci lines?
I don't know. Am I supposed to know that?
No.
I was gonna say I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, perfect. What's a MACD?
No idea.
Okay, perfect. All right. Last night I asked you, what are pips? What's your answer? What are pips?
The spikes on the graph to show when your money goes up or down. Right? It sounds like it.
That's actually no. However, watch this. Everybody stay in this interview. Watch this, because I had brought my son on as a guest, and he also trades. He's actually now created his own trading program because he has his own way of flipping accounts from his cell phone. He has his own strategy. He's very strategic. He keeps notes and everything else. I brought him on, and people loved him because he was very strategic. He had understood all these different trend lines, support and resistance, this and that. I brought on my daughter on purpose. That's why I wanted you guys to be here. I'm bringing her on purpose because I want to prove a point. Tori.
Yes.
How many days have you been trading with me?
3 days.
3 days. 3 days. Within that 3 days of us trading together, we've taken 8 trades total. We won 6 trades, lost 1, and closed out 1 early because it was going into the weekend. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go through this interview, guys. As I'm asking these questions, pay attention because there's 3 goals that I want you guys to pay attention to. And write this down. Everybody who's listening, write down these 3 goals of this interview. I brought this person on purpose. A lot of times people expect to get a more astute, which I know a lot of professional traders, I could have brought any one of them on. But that's the problem that some of you guys are struggling with. That's part of your problem. And I'm going to show proof that you can actually change today and go back to how you originally started, and you can become a lot more profitable. And as I go through this interview, you guys are going to understand what I'm talking about towards the end. Okay? So here's the 3 goals. Write this down, everybody, before we do the interview. Number 1, the goal is to reduce your confusion and your stress. That's number one. Please write this down. If you ever attend any of my classes or even my Sunday lessons, always have something to write with. Always. Okay? That's like people coming to class and never having a pencil. Okay? So number one, the goal of today's interview is to show you how to reduce your confusion and your stress. Some of you guys, you are so freaking stressed out, it's beyond ridiculous. The truth of the matter is, some of you guys are actually so far gone in not achieving your goal of trading until now you've hit the level of depression. You haven't told anybody. You ain't said nothing. But the losses have stacked up so hard against you after week after week after week, and you're in depression. That's how bad it's gotten for some of you guys. And I'm gonna help you through this interview today. We're gonna get rid of all that. And I know we have people who's in here who's not even part of Super Reports. That's okay. I asked you to be a special guest because I love you. And I do really care about what's going on in your trading career, whether you're part of us or not. Okay. Number two is discipline and patience equals pay. Through discipline and patience, that's how you're going to make your money. And in this interview, as I'm asking these questions, you're going to see, I'm going to take you backwards so that you can wake up. Okay. Number three is to leave a legacy. I want you to leave a legacy for your children. Right now, you can't leave anything for them because you have not achieved the level of success you want. The only thing some of you guys in the group have achieved is just stress, anger, bitterness, loss of finances, and it's just all downhill. Today's interview, I brought this particular person on for a reason. So before you say, well, you know, why he gonna bring on somebody who don't even know what a pip is? Why he gonna bring, but that's the point. This person who doesn't even know anything about that took 8 trades, won 6 of them, only 1 loss, and closed out 1 early. But they don't know anything. So type of amen in the box if you guys are understanding where I'm going with this thus far. Take the amen in the box. So as I go through this interview, don't tune out just because, oh, well, I was expecting, that's your problem. That's exactly your problem. You're expecting more strategic strategies, this and that, and this, and that's your problem. It hasn't worked for you. So why don't you learn something new? Okay, here we go. Tori, you ready?
No, but yes.
Girl, come on. All right, number one. Again, I'm gonna ask this. How many days have we been trading together?
3 days.
3 days. Cool, cool, cool. See, it ain't hard. And well, I already went over that. I went over that. Do you know how to draw trend lines?
Yes.
So you know how to draw some trend lines?
The vertical lines, right?
Nope. See, everybody pay attention. Pay attention. She don't even know the difference. Here's a trend line. For those who's looking at my screen, here's a trend line. Okay. And we had the trend line break right here. Boom, 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 boom. And again, oh, I can make this a little bit better. Do it like this. Okay. So that's a trend line. We had the break of the trend line, and now it's come back up to retest all that. Some of you traders in here, did you understand what I just said? Type a number 10 in the box if you understand what I just said. We had a trend line. Here's the trend line. We had a break of the trend line and a retest. Okay. Torian, did you understand anything I just said about that?
No.
Perfect. Perfect answer. Just give honest answers. Just because I'm your daddy, it don't mean that you need to create an answer. Don't worry about the people here. I want you to tell the truth. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, perfect. So what she thought was a trend line. Watch this. This is going to be a short interview, but highly impactful. So what line did you say that you thought it was?
Vertical line.
Vertical line. Watch this, everybody. Here on your charts, y'all know that vertical line. All we do is do this. And we look for it to line up at the point of entry. Red, 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 below the red. Isn't that how we've been trading?
Yep.
Have we been doing anything other than that?
No.
No, okay. All right. Okay. So that's what she thought was actually a trend line. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? Type of number 20 if you're getting where I'm going so thus far. She thought the vertical line was a trend line. However, we got somebody who's on here who took 8 trades in 3 days, won 6 of them, only lost 1, and we closed out 1 of them early because it was going into the weekend. So technically, it's 5 and 1. Okay, 5 and 1. And this is a person who knows nothing. Let's keep going. I have a question for you, Torian. My question to you is, why do you think I'm teaching you and not the rest of the siblings? For some of your uncles and aunts. Why? What do you think you did different? As to why I said, okay, I'll go ahead.
Did the work.
You did the work. What work did you do?
Looked at the videos, even though I didn't understand them.
Oh, okay. But you still did it.
Yeah.
Okay. So in other words, just because you my daughter didn't mean that I was going to give you special favor, was I?
No, we weren't.
Let's stop here. Team, the point of this question is this. Some of you guys, the reason why you're not succeeding is because you're being lazy. You're not doing the work. You're not becoming a student. And because you're not becoming a student, that's why the market is not giving you what you're looking for. So even though she didn't understand, I just wanted to see, were you willing to do the steps that I asked you? Because if you're willing to do the steps that I asked you before we get to trading, you will simply follow my instructions when we start trading. Now, I know we got a lot of people who have come from other trading systems. Doesn't matter, because again, I'm not trying to promote Super Easy Forex for this. What I'm saying to you is some of you guys, you buy these indicators, you slap them on your charts, you don't look at the manual, you don't look at the video tutorials, and then when it doesn't work after 1 or 2 trades, you're off to another strategy or buying a new indicator, and you're rinsing and repeating, and your trading career is getting worse and worse and worse. Type in number 50 in the box if you know I'm telling the truth. Come on, bring them. Y'all know, just because we in this room don't mean I'm gonna be different from YouTube. Come on, we tell the truth up in here because the truth will set you free. I didn't care whether she was confused or not. I know she was brand new, but I just wanted to see, was she willing to do the work? Or was she gonna be like, I can't tell you the percentage in the Forex market, let alone the stock market included, how many people want to have a full-time career, but they're lazy as all outdoors. They won't even do the work. And it's ridiculous. You will never achieve your goal if you're going to be lazy. Okay, let's keep going. Somebody said that was me a couple of months ago. See, amen. See, we tell the truth. There's nothing wrong with that, because when you reverse that, then you begin to see the fruits of your labor. Okay, let's keep going. How much time, Tori, here we go. Tori, here we go. How much time per night should you work?
At least like 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay. No, that's how many times per week. How many times on average per night we should be working?
Like each trade, it took us like 2 minutes or so. I would say like 10 minutes.
Okay, there you go. The correct answer, once you get good and understand, keep doing the same exact thing, we simply keep looking for stuff like this, is to 15 minutes to 20 minutes a night. And you remember I told you the total amount of work we should be putting in is a total of about maybe 45 minutes to an hour a week, period. Remember that?
Yep.
Okay, let me stop there. Traders, some of you guys who are old heads, can you admit that you put in more hours sometimes on the charts than you actually do a full-time job? Type a number 200 in the box if that's the truth. I told you guys, this interview is not what you expected, but it's going to be the blessing you need. See, I don't sit there and try to be like everybody else who want to bring on this a special guest who's very astute and prestigious in this. I can care less. My goal is to help you get out of the rut that you're in. So, Tori,
Yes.
we took some trades last night. How long did it take us to actually identify the trades and place the trades last night? Outside of us talking, how long did it take us?
A minute or so.
Okay. All right. And yet we have in the chat room people admitting that you are a person who knows tons of strategies, and yet you're spending countless hours every week on these charts with very minimal results. And you don't think that this interview is going to be helpful? I'm trying to get you guys to flush out what you've been doing and go back to the original starting point, which some of you guys, you can't remember your starting point because you've been studied so many different strategies, so many different indicators, so many this and that, and your mind is clogged up full of trading ideas to the point to where now you are in complete doubt, have no confidence in your trading, and it's like the markets are wearing you out. Type a 500 in the box if that's true. Somebody's asking me to take trades now. Okay, glad you asked that question. Tori.
Yep.
This morning, I said, go ahead and close out the trades because actually, and those who's in the group, you know that actually on this, before I close out my positions, I was up over 100 and something pips on this one. We were up, and I posted in the group, I think I was up 50 or 60 pips on this one, and I already posted the screenshots before I closed it. And then on this one, it's doing a pullback, but I was up 80 something pips on this one. Okay, and those who's in my group, you can confess and know that. So I told you go ahead and take your money, right? This morning. You said, hey, let's look at CAD JPY. Did you not?
I did.
What did I tell you?
Why would we look at it when we're not supposed to be working right now?
Say it again.
Why would we look at it if we're not supposed to be working right now?
See, the problem is that somebody asked me to take trades right now. I am off work. This Forex is a job to me. And when you understand how the market conditions actually move, you'll know when you need to show up for work and when you need to stop. Some of you guys as traders, you know too much. That's your problem. And now you're addicted to the markets and you don't know when to stop trading. As I told her, since she's brand new, I don't want you falling into the, did I not tell you this morning? I said, now, if you go back at this time, when I'm telling you just take off work, you made some pips, a lot of them in 24 hours. I said, did I not tell you? I said, this is why more than 90% of traders tend to lose in Forex. Didn't I tell you that this morning?
Yep.
Because why? Tori?
Huh? Hello?
Yeah, girl, come on. I'll reach through this thing.
Repeat the question again.
Okay. Why did I say that 90% of Forex traders tend to lose in the market? Do you remember?
They're just overzealous.
Okay. And they're greedy. Remember I said, when you're off work, be off work. Close the computer and call it a day. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And I told you that even though you don't even realize it, you're already in the 10 to 15% of successful Forex traders around the world. But you don't even know that because you come to work at the time you're supposed to come to work and you turn that computer off and you don't look at another trade afterwards. Did we not talk about that this morning?
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. By the way, here we go again. Traders, listen to this. Listen. After we took the trades last night, I called you back and I said, hey, do you see that you made money? What did you tell me? Very important. What did you tell me about the computer?
I closed the computer.
Oh, so you didn't even know?
Mm-mm.
All right, here we go. I told you guys, I'm helping you with your trading career. How many of you guys, when you take trades, which before I ask this question, Tori, do you know what an MT4 is on your phone?
No,
Okay, so you don't have that on your phone, do you?
no, I don't.
Okay. You want to know what part of you guys' problem is? When you take a trade, and I want a confession, okay? Type a yes in the box if this statement is true. Some of you guys, the Forex market is driving you crazy because the moment you take a trade, you have it on your phone and you're watching it day and night until the trade closes, one way or the other. Type a yes in the box if that's true. See, there we go. Somebody said, I watch it all day. I told you guys this is going to be one of the best interviews you needed. Some of you guys, you're expecting, well, let me let him bring on the head of this and that. You don't need that. That's your problem. You're doing too much and you're overcomplicating the process. And therefore, I look at the comments. Those who's in the group, look at the comments. It's being said from people who trade Forex all the time. Here's a person who don't know diddly squat. And when I told you, hey, you made money, you said no, you didn't know because you're what?
Close the computer.
I called you this morning and I say, hey, did you see how much money you made? Did you know?
No,
Why?
because the computer was still closed.
Type of amen in the box if this is helping you so far. Can you see where you're making your mistakes, people? Can you see where you're making your mistakes? You don't need a professional six-figure. I got people in my group who's six-figure earners. I could have brought any one of them in. I didn't want to. Because you don't need more of that. You need to go back to when you first started Forex and everything was so simple. Tori, let me ask you this. After we took them trades and I said goodnight, were you stressed out over the trades or did you go to sleep?
Went to sleep.
Okay. And this morning I had to call you and tell you to look at your trades, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Some of you guys, you've been trading for years and you have not had a good night's rest. You've been so stressed out. I brought this guest on for a reason because I wanted you to know that it doesn't require all that over dedication of what you're doing. Furthermore, Tori, I told you on this trade, and you guys who tuned in before we started this recording, I had this chart up and you saw how many pips I was in. Tori, I told you to close it straight out because I said, hey, it's probably going to do what? You remember? If you
It's
don't
probably
remember,
gonna. I
go
don't
ahead.
remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay, remember I said that this trade probably going to go back up and we can take the money that you made and reinvest it back in later this evening?
Yeah. Oh, yes, you did say that.
You remember I said that?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody who's in here, take a look at my charts. We made money, and is it not going right back up like I said it was going to do? For people who've been trading for a long time, we know it's called pullbacks. Torian, did you know about pullbacks?
Mm-mm.
You didn't know nothing about that, did you?
Nothing.
But what I'm trying to help you guys with, Forex traders around the world, I am trying to help you to simplify your trading career. And it doesn't matter whether you have our system or another. The point is, I need you to simplify because the problem is you have the Elliott wave theory, the market makers method. You have the don't you own channels. You have the quarter point theory. And then you have this and you have that. Do I have a problem with any of those? Absolutely not. But what I have a problem with is when you're doing all of these plus 50 more strategies, plus 50 indicators, and you are flat out confused and you've made no money. And here's a person who only been trading 3 days and they have already won 8 trades. We won 6 trades and only lost 1. Ain't that right? Yeah, 6. We won 6 trades. Yes, won 6 trades, only lost 1. The other one we closed out, so really don't count. So we're 6-1. And some of you guys ain't seen that in such a long time. let's conclude this interview. Let's bring it to a close because I told you guys I'm not going to hold you long. Tori,
Yes.
do you love your daddy?
So much.
I love you too, girl. All right, you guys. All right, Tori, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you. And by the way, just so you know, your brother, before I let you go, and I finish talking to the group, your brother has challenged me, PJ. So he said that what he's gonna do with his trading style, he's gonna train Andre, and I train you, and he wants to see who comes out with better results. I think we're doing pretty good so far.
Are y'all like betting like money?
Yeah, no, you know, I ain't worrying, you know.
Oh, because like, you know, I can go half on the win when we win, you know?
Hey, you mean you be a team against them, against your brothers?
Yeah.
And I think so far we're whipping the pants off of them, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Okay, I'll see you tonight for work, okay?
Okay, I'll be back in a couple of months.
Uh-huh. Okay, so let me conclude this interview for you guys. What I'm trying to teach you guys is this. Going back to what I said about our 3 goals. Number 1, the point of this interview was to have you actually stop what you're actually doing. Some of you guys, you have hours upon hours upon hours every week of marking up charts and doing this, doing that. And at the end of the week, and I'm gonna slap you in the face with truth and let you go. At the end of all of that, you have nothing to show for it at the end of the week. But yet you're this so-called advanced trader with 50 different strategies, and you're doing all this and that. And here it is, a person who simply, and here's the reason why I brought this person on. All she really knows how to do is she thought this was a trend line. All she knows how to do is what I taught her. Take the vertical line, pop it in, and see if everything lines up. And if it does, we take the trade. If it doesn't, then we move on to something else. And here she is, 6 wins, only 1 losses. Can you say that with all the stuff you know? Or should you rethink what you're doing? And again, I'm not trying to promote our system. You may have some of you guys already had a very great system. The problem is you're the one messing it up because you're doing too much. Could it be true that if you just dump out a whole bunch of the stuff that's in your head, like I had to do? I'm saying this because out of love, I've been through it. It's a painful experience to know all these different strategies and you can't seem to solidify one. And the problem is because I never stuck to anything long enough. I would give 1 or 2 trades and then I'm off to the next one if it didn't work out. And then I do this. And then I come back and I combine this one with this. And then when that didn't work out, I combine this with this. And then now and at the end of the day, could it be true that you guys are using a gumbo pot full of ideas and the flavor ain't coming out right? Type a number 15 in the box if I'm telling the truth. I told you, I love you guys. And I have a purpose for what I'm doing. I am not waiting for politicians or anybody else to change this world. We can do it. The money is here. But I have to get you guys to stop doing your crazy process, which is getting you nowhere. And you're rinsing and repeating the same mistake week after week after week, and you're frustrated. That is why I brought on somebody who knows absolutely nothing. But the simple thing that I taught, just simple. And yet they're outperforming you who has all this knowledge and all these indicators. And you're stressed out and you're broke. You haven't did a withdrawal. You're putting money in the account, feeding the market and your broker, but you've not made a withdrawal. And now you wonder why Miss Liz, who I brought on first, was able to retire. She simplified, kept it simple. I'm here to help you. And again, I'm not telling you, I know we have people from YouTube and I know we have guests in here. I'm not telling you, hey, join Super Easy. That's not the point of this. I really care enough that you have the ability to earn money and then move and touch lives in your community. But you can't touch lives outside of you if your own life is not being touched. And for some of you guys, like it was for me for a very long time. I really hated the day that people introduced me to trading because it literally was destroying me. It literally was. It was such a painful experience. And I didn't have an Uncle P who cared enough to do something just out of the blue, just for love, because everybody wanted some money from me. It wasn't no, oh, we'll just invite them in, bring a guest so they can at least take a thought on what they're doing. See, somebody said it was over 6 years for them. See, painful journey. That's painful. So again, I'm not telling you, oh, buy super easy. You do, you don't. I'm not asking for that. But I'm telling you, as a fellow retail trader, you have to stop at some point and say, you know what? I think he's right. When was the last time you actually stopped and just stuck with one strategy just for about 2 weeks flat? You did nothing else but stick with that one just to see if it even worked. Here's what a lot of y'all doing. Oh, I'm back testing. So what you did was you just slid it on back just to see and you mark, okay, yeah, that looked like a winner. That no, but you didn't test it in a live market to really see on a demo account. Let me see if this thing actually really do work. And then you actually figure out, okay, this one actually worked. And this one, you're so busy trying to make the money until you're giving away money because you have no patience to wait and actually test an idea to see if it actually works. Let me give you an example. I'm hearing that there's certain places that's putting a recall on the Johnson & Johnson virus or antivirus, whatever, vaccine. They put it through very quickly, and I understand that, to save lives. The problem is that it didn't go through the normal rigorous tests to see if how it would affect all different types of people. And some people are actually having deadly experiences with the vaccine. So some places say, hey, let's put a halt on this Johnson & Johnson one. Now, again, I got nothing against Johnson & Johnson. That's not my point. The point is that when you go so fast, sometimes you miss something. And for some of you guys, you've been missing so much because you get an indicator or a new strategy on YouTube every weekend, getting something new. You put on your charts and there you go. Then next week you're doing something. You've never been consistent. You've never slowed down to say, okay, let me just sit still and test this to see if it actually works. Here's a clue. Any trading system on average, if it's really good, it'll say, okay, we have let's say an 80% win rate. So that does mean that 20% is still going to be a loss. Could it be possible that the 20% was the ones you took? And if you would have waited long enough, you would have been able to see that the 80% would have kicked in. But because of your impatience, you took 1 or 2 trades and then you're off to the next one. And now you have a whole spaghetti swirl in your head of all these ideas, calling yourself a Forex trader, and you made no money. You need to stop calling yourself a Forex trader and promoting yourself like that in public. Because remember what I said about integrity. Integrity means no cracks. What you think, what you say, and what you do should all line up. Are you telling people you're a Forex trader, but you haven't did one withdrawal? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I know somebody didn't like what I just said. I know they didn't. Type in number 75 in the box if you know somebody whose toes I just stepped on. I ain't saying your toes, but somebody's toes you know I just stepped on. They constantly out there promoting themselves as, oh yeah, I'm a Forex trader, but they've never made one withdrawal. And they're stressed out, completely confused. You're taking on the title, but you're not owning up to it behind the scenes where nobody's looking. So it sounds real good, but the truth of the matter is you're suffering within yourself and you're hurt. I'm here to help you. And again, I'm not telling you to buy our system. I'm just helping you to see where you could be making a mistake. What if you went back to the original starting point and said, you know, I'm going to clear the board like Uncle P is suggesting, and I'm just going to stick with one strategy for a couple of weeks in a demo account. I'm not going to try to make money. I'm just going to try to learn and see where I made my mistakes. And I'm going to undo all of these different things. I'm going to dump a whole bunch of these indicators, get them off my charts, and I'm going to start from scratch because he's right. I'm spending hours upon hours away from, and watch this, and this is the truth. Some of you guys, you've been spending a lot of time away from your family, and it's destroying your family. because they feeling like an absentee family member, because the market, the Forex market and these charts have taken over as your primary love. And you have a love-hate relationship with Forex because you hate it because it was supposed to be paying you, but you paying it. But you love looking at the charts. You love looking at new strategies, and none of it's working for you. And meanwhile, your family is not liking you because they're feeling like every time they talk to you, you always on them charts. Type amen in the box if I'm telling the truth. I'm here to help. And I'm not putting you down. I'm telling you what I did. Students in my class, you remember I had my wife, she stepped in right when I was talking about this. This is a painful thing. And I should have brought my daughter on so she could tell you the truth. I just celebrated 7 years of marriage to my wife. Valentine's Day is our wedding anniversary. So on Valentine's Day, I just celebrated 7 years to Miss Nancy. But the truth of the matter is, and she never put me down. I love my wife. She's so cool. She never put me down. But I have to tell the truth. For 4 of the 7 years, I was kind of like an absentee husband because I was so busy on these charts all the time. Even when we was in the movie theater, I'm the only one sitting in the corner with a bright light on my phone, supposed to be watching the movie, but instead of watching the movie, I'm watching a trade that I'm in. Write this term down. It's called market addiction. And that's where some of you guys are. You're trapped in an addiction to the market, even though you hate it because you've been crying. You ain't told nobody, but you've been crying. Your journey's been painful, but you don't know how to get out of the trap because you know too much. So because you know all this stuff, it sounds good. Yeah, man. And you have these conversations. Yeah, man. So I drew my trend line and here's the supply zone and here's the demand zone and this and that, and this. And it sounds real good. But the truth of the matter is when everybody's gone, no social media, and it's just you. And it's just you. You can't tell stories like you did to the public because it's just you. And you know that what you told everybody, and it sounds real good, but you know the truth. And I'm here to undo the pain that you're going through because I went through it too. Talking real good, but couldn't back it up. Because I had been taught too much. And I never stuck with anything long enough until I just got flat out tired. And it got to a point where I hated Forex. And when I got to the point where I hated Forex, for some blessed reason, that's when it actually clicked. I got to a point where I couldn't stand looking at the charts. And all of a sudden, when I went back to the charts, I could see it. And the truth is, I didn't need to hate the charts. I needed to hate the process of what I was doing. Because I was looking, let me give you guys this, and we're almost done. I wear glasses at night. I can see very good during the day, but I wear glasses at night because it's hard for me to see the signs in the distance. But can you imagine if I had 5 pairs of glasses on my eyes all at the exact same time? And I'm trying to drive you around in my new car as your Uber driver. Just think about it like this. I pull up in my new car and you say, dang, that car is nice. Can't wait to drive in that car. Woo! With the Lambo doors lifting up. This is the coolest Uber driver ever. But when you climb inside, I put 5 pairs of glasses on my eyes and say, okay, where do you want me to take you? Would you stay in my car and have me drive you around? Type a yes or no. Exactly. And yet, this is exactly what many of you guys are doing in the Forex market. You're putting on 5 and 6 different strategies in your mental eye, and you wonder why you're not making no money. Because you can't even see it anymore. And the point of my interview is to take you back. The point of this interview was to take you out of what you've been doing and to take you back to when you first started and you didn't have all that clutter in your head. This girl thought that a trend line was the vertical line, the one that you can just drag and drop. She thought that was a trend line. And yet, she has 6 wins and 1 losses in 3-day period. Can you confess that? And you keep thinking you need to know more. No, you need to know less at this point, because what you know is destroying you. Let me leave you guys with this. Miss Liz I asked her to come on as a testimony, not to promote our services, but to promote when you finally get it, the money will come. You notice she said, yes, I've been with Super Easy for 2 years, but I was working a full-time job and so I couldn't commit 100%. But she said when COVID hit, which by the way, for some of the people in my group, when COVID hit, it turned out to be the biggest blessing for them, because it allowed them the time to actually dedicate themselves to what I was actually teaching. She was with us for 2 years, but notice what she actually said. When she was able to really have the extra time to actually really say, okay, I'm gonna stay and stick with this dude's class. And shortly afterwards, now she's retired and making more money from Forex than she was from the jobs and the retirement check she gets from military or wherever she gets it. Could it be a clue? Or were you off course? And now she has the ability to leave a legacy. Me, I'm leaving a legacy. I am not trying to leave a whole bunch of money in my children's hand. I'm trying to leave knowledge in their mind. Because if I can teach them what I know, I never have to worry about if they know how to make money. Everybody understand what I'm saying? The truth of the matter is, would you want to teach your children what you actually know right now? I know you know all these different strategies, and I know you know how to, I know. But if it's not making you money, is this what you want to leave as a legacy for your children? Or should you start back fresh, simplify, gain momentum, and then teach your children something simple? I'll leave you guys with this statement. And I should have brought Torian back on. I told you guys, when I started Super Easy Forex, it was never even supposed to be there. Super Easy Forex was never supposed to be in existence. What happened was I had created some indicators. This is before anybody knew me. I created some indicators and I told my children, I say, hey guys, here, I want you guys to go and start a business so that you'll have some money and create a website. I help you create the website and this and that. I had no takers. I got upset with my own children because I really wanted them to have a legacy. I used to do real estate very heavily because my father taught me. So I wanted to leave something for them. And at the beginning, there were no takers. So I got pissed. And I said, all right, I'm gonna prove to y'all that you should listen to me. And so I started Super Easy Forex. That's why I say it's simple enough for your kids to do it. I wasn't playing. As you can clearly see, I wasn't playing. I was serious. And then Super Easy grew to what it is today. But thank God, I had to be patient because, hey, they are grown and they will come aboard when they're ready. And as you can see, now my daughter, she only been trading with me for 3 days. She woke up this morning. I wish I should have kept her on to ask us one thing. I said, did you look at your trades today? She said, no. I said, well, girl, why don't you open your computer? And she said, oh, this is fancy, nice. I said, isn't it nice that you can spend just a few minutes the night before and then wake up with money in your pocket? Oh, she said, I'm still here. I don't need you, girl. Go on about your way. No, I love you. Okay. I'm leaving a legacy because I want to actually, Tori, raise your hand real quick. I want you to say this and then we're done. Raise your hand, Tori. All right, cool. Go ahead and go on speaker. They need to hear from you so they know I ain't making that stuff up. Tori? Tori? You have to unmute your computer. Hit
Okay.
your mic.
Oh, hey. Hey.
Sorry, by the way, you were there. You were there. Okay, because the other ones, you know, they were grown and they already had their own place, but you was the last of the Mohicans living with me. You would know it.
Yeah.
All right. Do you remember how many times you saw me sitting in my office working on the
Yeah.
computer? A lot
All
of
the
hours.
time.
Say again?
It was a lot of time.
A lot of time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of time. And you remember I had that discussion with you guys in the beginning, and I said, hey, you know, you guys should start this, and nobody took it. Remember that?
Yeah.
But let me say this to you in public. I love you and I'm proud of you because when you were ready, then you were ready, and now we're here. And I'm glad that you're aboard, and I'm glad that you can be my trading partner. Okay? Oh, hey, guess what? PJ, raise your hand. Hold on, you guys. Got a bonus. Raise your hand, PJ. You have to raise your hand. All right, PJ, hold on. PJ?
How you doing?
Hey, everybody, this is my son, the one who I had on as a guest a couple of months back. PJ, what's up, boy? I didn't know you was on.
Yeah, I was on. I'm just trying to listen to Tori and see how she doing on during trade.
Mind your business, okay?
I just want to listen to Tori and to see how she doing with trading. Because I'm trading right now, listening to y'all.
Which, by the way, PJ.
Yes, sir. What's up?
All right, I'm gonna take you up on your challenge. You said that you're gonna train Dre, and my job is to go with Torian. So far,
Yeah.
so far, here it is. We 6-1. So you better hurry up with Dre.
Yeah, it's okay.
And Andre don't listen, so you got a lot of work to do.
Patience is key. That's the thing. Y'all rushing. I ain't gonna rush them. I'm gonna be patient with them and teach them. It's gentle. You gotta be gentle now.
PJ, I'm glad you're on.
But yeah, I'm kind of.
PJ, hold on.
You're doing this too, Tony.
Hold on, Chef. Hold on. I got a question for you. PJ, do you know what trend lines are? PJ? PJ, where you at? Okay, hold on. Unmute. I got a question for PJ. PJ? Now, dang it. When I need you to talk, where you at? Torian, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, PJ, can you hear me? PJ, can you hear me? What happened to his
I think
phone?
his connection back.
Oh, okay. Okay, there you go. All right, PJ,
Yes, sir. What's up?
do you know what a trend line is?
Yeah, I know what trend line is. That's what I use all the time.
I know you do, but I'm showing the class and the people here the difference between a person who knows trend lines and a person who don't know trend lines. Does it really matter? No, not necessarily. But for you, now you've taken what I've taught you about Forex and you've created your own trading style, haven't you?
Yeah, I definitely love my trading style. I definitely love it.
But here's my question. Do you have 5 different trading styles or 1?
One now, like I just got one.
Okay. Now you're an expert at taking small accounts and flipping them, correct? Last one you told me about, you took $25 and flipped it into $200 on your phone, correct?
I was wrong. It was $9 actually. It was $9 to 200 in a day, like in the morning, around this time.
Okay.
Like,
Because of your trading style.
yeah, I like mine. It's kind of fitted for me because I'm young and I'm kind of hungry and aggressive. So it's meant for, it's kind of meant for me. So it may work for other people, who knows? But I know as far as for me, it works for me, and I'm starting to enjoy it a lot more. The more, I think it's the discipline that I have now with my strategy.
Now, son, I want to give you
that's
props. I want to give you props in front of these couple of hundred people that's on. I remember, everybody listen to what I'm about to say. PJ, I remember me and you had a conversation.
Yeah.
After I'm already trading, I know how to trade, but you said something to me that changed me. You and I had a conversation and you said to me that Yeah, this is fun. Everybody hear what he's still saying. It's fun. See, he's young. Okay. How old are you, PJ?
I'm actually, I keep forgetting my age. I'm 26 now. I
26
keep
years old.
forgetting.
Yeah, and Tori's younger than you. All right, cool, cool, cool. So going back, team, everybody who's listening, leaving a legacy. You remember we had a conversation and you said it's like a video game to you. Do you remember when you
Yeah,
told me that?
yeah, it is. It is. It's kind of like Call of Duty, but I don't really like Call of Duty, so I just trade and look at like play with my charts and stuff like that.
So it's not stressful to you.
No, it's actually enjoyable. Even when I do lose trades, don't get me wrong, but even when I lose trades, it's like not because of the strategy, it's because I'm not being disciplined and doing what I said I was originally going to do and that I wrote down in my journal. So, or even when I lose, I tell my wife about it. I'd be like, I should have listened to myself. Like, why not just listen to myself? But that's just because I'm young and I'm not disciplined. But at the same time, I'm growing with patience. That's why I say patience is key. That is a big thing. Patience is big.
Hey, hold on. Let me say this to you, son. Do you know you said something that I can tell you that the majority of traders around the world do not even do? When people do sign up in Super Easy Forex, we give them a trading journal. You know how many people use it?
Barely any, but that's the big part. That's how you see your
I know
failures.
that.
That's how you see your failures right there, and see correcting your mistakes. I figured all my mistakes out was the trading journal, and then once I figured it out, I started critiquing my strategy around that. That's the big key is the journal.
Okay, so let me ask you this, PJ. Y'all see, wait, before we go further, do y'all see a completely different, distinct difference between my daughter and my son? You can tell that my son really has been trading. You can tell that my daughter barely knows anything about trading, and yet they're both profitable. Type a yes in the box if y'all see that.
Gold taking off too. It's taking good. It's taking.
Do you in gold trade right now?
I only trade one pair.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, I don't.
Wait. Hold on, PJ. And yet we have people in here from all over different parts of the world who's listening in right now, who's struggling in trading, and yet they know 10 different strategies, have 50 different indicators, and yet no profit. And here I have one person who's just getting started, and she thought a trend line was a vertical line, and I want her to keep it just like that. I don't want her knowing more than that. I want her to just know, hey, stay confused because it's making you money. Don't try. And she even asked, well, do I need to? No, you don't need to study all. I say, I don't even want you studying all that other stuff because you're going to be like everybody else around the world who's suffering. The more you learn, the more confused you're going to get. So I don't want you knowing all that. All you need to know is to think that this vertical line is actually a trend line. And then once this line lines up and you see the colors matching, take the trade and make your money. Now, on the other hand, I have my other son who I also taught how to trade, but he created his own thing because he's on the go. You was an MMA fighter, boxer, and all these different things, correct?
Correct.
And so then you were always on the go. So being in front of your computer charts didn't work for you, correct?
No, it did not work. And plus, you got a job. Everybody has a job. I know people got jobs, and you're trying to trade. That's why I tell people, like, you can trade with a job. It is definitely possible. Yep. You just got to figure out your time and for you.
Yep.
Specifically for you. I didn't change so many jobs just because I wanted to trade. Like, you just got to figure it out. Like, I took a couple of odd jobs just to trade. So it's just what you want to do and how bad you want it.
And here's the deal that you said that really I want to highlight about this interview. You journaled. I can't tell you how many people even who's listening to me now. And there's going to be a lot of people who's going to tune into this later because I have it recorded specifically for our group. I posted this recording into the Telegram groups because we have a lot of people who can't attend because they're either in Japan or in Africa or in some other parts of the world. So they can't attend because it's their nighttime, but they will be listening to this. So there's going to be a whole lot more people who's listening to this, and I want them to hear this. In order for you to have created your one new trading style that was working for you, that's currently working for you, you had to journal. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely like the journal. Definitely. I like my wife bought my journal. I didn't got so many journals from her, and I just started taking notes. Like that is my if you wanted anything, if you wanted to take any of my prized possessions, it would be my journal. Definitely my
Stop,
journal.
stop. Did y'all hear what he said? Did y'all hear what he said? Remember what I told you. I am not trying to leave money in their hands. I'm trying to leave knowledge in their head. Did you hear what he just said? Unlike some of y'all's kids, their pride possession is their video games or their Jordan shoes. Did you hear what my son said? If we was to take anything from him, the one thing he don't want taken from him is his journals. Isn't that something? And some of you guys, you've been trading for how long? And you don't even use a journal. You haven't tracked one of your trades in God knows how long, even though that was part of your trading plan and strategy. Well, I'm gonna journal my trading, and you ain't did it yet. You're an emotional trader. If you'll see
Yeah, that
what I'm
is.
teaching here today, I am teaching you how to be a professional, technical, non-emotional trader. For him, his trading style, he has to journal and track it. For my daughter, she has to just simply come here without emotions and simply grab what she thought was a trend line and drop it and see if these colors match up. And if it does, she takes the trade. If it doesn't, she don't take it. Either way it goes, it eliminates emotional stress. Remember what I said about number one. Number one's goal for this interview was to reduce confusion and stress. So each one of them is developing what's called a mechanical trading system. Mechanical means you just come and it's robotic. It doesn't require me being emotional. It doesn't require me doing this and that. It just requires me to be disciplined and just to, if I see it, I see it. If I don't, I don't. Some of you guys, you're forcing trades. You know doggone well what you saw, even last night on that losing trade you took. You know doggone well, if you look back, it was not supposed to be a taking trade. Type of amen in the box if you know somebody who that fits. It may not be you, but you know somebody. You're making stuff. You're making up stuff because you're emotional. And here I got two kids, one who knows trading, one who doesn't know anything about it, and both of them are profitable because I'm teaching them how to be mechanical. Just come in, come to work. Notice the term that I used for my daughter. I said, I'll see you at work. I didn't mean her job. I meant this. This is nothing more than a job to me. No emotions. I mean, it's just a job. Forex trading is a job, and I just do that. But when I talk to my son, I never forget, and thank you, PJ, for sharing this. He said, "Yeah, Dad, trading is like it's like a game, video game to me," and that switched my brain. And anytime I get off course and I start getting stressed out over trading, I have to go back to what you actually told me, PJ, because that means I'm doing too much emotional trading, and I need to just go back and guess what? If I just treat it like a job, like a game, I do come to work, but it's a game work, game work. I come to
Yeah, it's
work.
more like a video game.
Yeah, yeah, video game.
It's like a video game.
Yeah, and if I treat it like that, I'm gonna be far less stressed out over my trades.
Especially if you're using a small account in this thing.
Okay, say that again.
Especially if you're using a small account, because mainly all that money is basically their money that you took anyway. So there's no whole point of being stressed out. It's not even your money originally, it's theirs.
So let me ask you this. I know one of the things you talked to me about is the fact that, and I'm helping you develop your new company for your trading business, and we'll introduce it to the world when the time comes. But the point is this: you average opening accounts with $25, right? Somewhere around there.
25. I just started one today, and so far I haven't lost a trade yet. Like, what am I? I take 2 trades. I'm on my 4th trade right now, and it's still in profit. I haven't lost yet. I just only use gold. I use gold.
I understand that. That's not the point. The point is, how much did you start that account with?
25.
Okay.
Actually, no, my bad. 20. I'm lying. 20.
Okay, no problem. Here's the point why I'm saying that. Traders around the world, some of you guys, here's your problem. You're starting with too much money, and that's why you're so emotional. With him, hey, let me ask you this, PJ.
Yeah.
If you lost that $25, let's just say you lost today. You lost the whole $25, so it's whole $20. Are you gonna have a fallout spasm, kick the TV, want to throw your laptop across the room like some people in the group does?
No, like we spend that at the gas station, man. Do you see gas prices? Like they 268 right now. I'm spending a whole $50 for my Mustang right now for gas. Right? I'm not sure.
So in other words, there's no reason for you to have a spasm over losing a small amount.
I don't trip anymore. As long as I average like 100 or something a day, I'm okay. Like I'm okay. I'm perfectly fine. I don't even mind.
Okay. My point is, people, part of your stress is you're trying to make so much money so fast, and you're putting in such large amounts of money. And oh God, I can't tell. PJ, Tori, I'm telling you, this is the truth. Because you're putting in a lot of money before you even really understand what's going on in these markets, you are so stressed out when you should either stay in demo or put in an amount that you really don't even care about one way or the other. And that's why for him, it's nothing more than just a video game. For you, every trade you've been taking is kind of like life or death. And when you lose a trade, you literally freaking losing your mind. You literally finna tear up your computer or hurt somebody. And I'm not joking. I know people who are so stressed out over trades until that's how far it's gotten. It's out of hand. And for him, it's just a game. Is it for you? Or are you one of those people who I'm talking about, where your trades have gotten so far out of hand until it feels like life or death? It throws you into such emotional swings. If you win a trade, you're over excited. And if you lose a trade, you're in complete depression. Could it be because you're risking too much money? Because you're trying to come up too quick? Could it be possible? And those who is not even taking it serious are making the money. Remember the days when you just started out and it was just fun for you, just a fun idea? But it ain't fun for you no more, is it? Type 200 in the box if I'm talking to somebody you know. Maybe it ain't you, but somebody you know. It ain't gotten that serious. It's out of hand. And now you're dealing with anger issues. Truth be told, and I remember this happened to me. I'm not making fun of nobody because I remember it was not fun for me. PJ, you here. PJ, raise your hand back up. I ain't tell you go nowhere, boy.
Dang.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you still there. All right. Do you remember watching me trade for hours and hours, weeks and weeks?
Yeah, definitely. But
And you remember
also,
go ahead.
also, it's the way of the journey. That's why I'm saying, like, it's a journey. You go, every trader goes through those. If you don't, you're a liar. I can't stress that enough.
Again. If they ain't telling the truth, they what?
They're a liar. That's why I wanted to be accurate on everything that I say. How much money that I put in, what's the exact amount, am I losing? Like, I tell people all the time, I take pictures of every little thing I do. Even if I lose, I'm still showing people the truth. Like, that's the best thing. Be honest with yourself, and you can be honest with other people. Definitely.
You know what that word is? That's called integrity. That's integrity. That's integrity. And
then on top of that, it's just a little bit of money too. That's why I think that's what it is, why I'm not mad. If I lose a trade, it's only 25. Like, but if I gain a whole bunch during the day, I mean, come on now. Like, I have no reason to be mad.
So either way it goes, it doesn't matter. It's just fun.
It doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's kind of like Call of Duty. You're going to die at some point in time. But as long as you keep responding, you're going to get better and accurate at it. Like, people, that you start out bad. You're not going to be good at it, perfect at it. Like Michael Jordan, you're going to come to the field and basically you're going to just start out bad. It's the way of the journey. And eventually you're going to hone your skills and get better each and every time you keep coming. That's why I started with a little amount. At first I was starting with a lot, and then I was like, I have no skill. Why am I putting a whole bunch of money in when I don't have skill? So I'm gonna go to the free throw line and keep shooting free throws until I keep getting better. And that's kind of how trading is. You hone your skill. You go up to the board, you keep shooting. You go to the free throw line, you keep shooting. Yeah, you're gonna lose, you're gonna miss some, but at the same time, you keep going. And if it's just a little shot each time, which is $25, okay, I'm gonna miss, which is what you should be taking a 1 cent trade at this point in time. This is common. I think this is pretty common sense, but you should be taking a 1 cent trade. In the worst case scenario, if you take 1 cent and you go negative $5, okay, well, you got 5 tries. So eventually you should actually start getting better. Okay, I go to the free throw line, which is whatever time you go to work on trading. I'll go to the free throw line and I'm gonna take 4 trades, which should either win $5 each or lose $5 each. But I know that I'm going to the free throw line and shooting my 4 each time. Whether I win or lose, I'm not going to be mad. But if I win those 4 trades, hey, I just won another $25. And then guess what? I put 100% in my account. That's just it. It's easy. Like it's not easy.
It's 100% profit in the day, isn't it?
Isn't it? But sometimes I be going more. Like I like trading. Like right now, I'm shooting in profit right now. I got up at what, 6? Actually, I'll be getting up at 4. But I get up and just look at the charts, and so I start trading around like 8:30 to 11, some 11:30 or probably 12. And I'm done for the day. Go to enjoy my day with my wife.
Whoa, stop right there. Stop right there. You said something else that most traders around the world don't know how to do. You said,
Go.
No.
Go.
You're done for the day? Oh, wait, PJ, wait. Hold on. You said you're what? You're actually done for the. Do you know how many traders?
Yeah, my traders winning. Like I
hold on, son. Hold on. Let me say this. Do you know how many traders around the world, including the couple of hundred who's on now, who's listening, they don't know when to stop? I wish Torian was back on, because we actually had to see. She's brand new. She only been trading 3 days, won 6 trades, only lost 1, and so we looked at what we did before this class, and all of our trades we took last night won. Oh, Tori, she says she's still here. That's okay. I don't need your handle yet, baby. But she said, oh, well, let's look at CAD JPY. I said, why are we looking at that? Aren't we supposed to be off work? See, I don't want her. I know she's excited to wake up to money, but the problem is I don't want her getting addicted to the market, because you got to know when to stop.
Yeah, that's the key.
Hold on. Let me ask you, group. Group, I want you, not you, but somebody you know. Do you know somebody who has never stopped trading? They're all trading 24 hours a day. They're always in the trade, never not being in the trade. Type a 60 in the box if I'm telling the truth. Always in the trade. Never takes off from trading. And that's why they're always on their phone, monitoring their trades. When they're supposed to be with their kids, they're on the trade. When you're supposed to be with your significant other, they're on the trade, watching the trade, monitoring the trade, always on the trade, always. You have, quote unquote, write this down, market addiction. I made that term up, hashtag super easy. Don't steal my term. Talking about, oh yeah, I made it up in it. No, I'm gonna come after you. Hashtag super easy Forex, Uncle P. I had to make up the term because I was the one who was suffering from it.
But that's the way of the journey.
But here's the truth. I asked my daughter earlier in the interview, I said, do you have this on your phone for our trading style? Now, for the way PJ trades, yes, he needs it on his phone because he trades from his phone. But he still stops at some point throughout the day. Isn't that right, PJ?
Yeah.
Okay.
You do have hiccups, though. You have hiccups.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna get back to you, son. I got you, son. Hold on. For my trading style, I have already closed out most of my profit on this one because I told you guys it was going to pull back up, and yes, it did. And this is still running. See, live account. It's still
That's what
running.
we like.
Yeah, we do.
The gold patch. The gold patch.
Boy, hold on. The point is, I do not have the MT4 on my phone. Now, we do use the scanner because we do have a scanner, and it will scan for pairs and opportunities. See, like even now, it's telling me the NAS. See, here's our scanner. And when it sends the alert, once I'm in enough trades, I take the MT4 off my phone. I don't even want to watch it because it's going to make me be an absentee husband and an absentee family member. I don't like when I was born. Go ahead, PJ.
I'm sorry. I made 100. I flipped my account already to 100%. I'm sorry. I'm listening to you, baby, but I already flipped it to 100% already.
So you already flipped your account.
Over.
Started with today. You already made 100% profit already.
Already. I like my. Yeah. This. Like I said, you are correct on every aspect. Teach it to your kids. I keep thanking you all the time because you taught me. Like now I'm figuring out things that older generations don't even know that I thought already knew, which I was kind of shocked about. So you're really correct. You're right.
But here's what my point is.
I'm sorry, but
like for an example, I can check and see if this is a good trade or a bad trade. And it's up to me to say, yes, I like or I don't like it. My choice. But truth be told, I don't have the MT4 on my phone. I don't want any alerts right now. Why? Because I'm done for today. I'm not going back. I'm done. This is my little runner that's still running. And this is a long-term trade for me because look at where the arrow came in. From where the arrow came in down here and shot all the way up to here to the next arrow, that was 154 pips, right? So I have multiple positions on, that's fine. But that means this thing can come back down into this zone. Now, this is for technical traders. Okay, it can at least come down to this area. And I told you guys on my YouTube videos, the disco dance floor, where price action like to come back to the club. See, you like to go to a popular club, and so does price action. It loves coming back to where things were popular. So it can at least fall down to this level here, possibly. But I've already closed out a lot of my profit. I don't care about any other trades for today. I am off work. When I'm done with this interview, I'm going to hang out with Nancy. I'm done. Son, don't you take off at the end of the day?
yeah, I definitely do. Yeah.
JJ ain't gonna let you be all day.
No, she kind of frustrated. We about to have to eat breakfast right now. So
Go have breakfast, son. I love you.
all right, you have a good day, man.
I appreciate you being on, son. All right, well, guys.
No problem.
Tori, thank you, baby. I love you. So let me conclude this meeting to let you guys go. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me let you shake him. That son coming. Hold on. Ooh, that sun. Real bright. Okay, here it comes. So let me wrap up this meeting. I didn't expect it to go this long, but I'm glad it did. I pray that this actually helps some traders in here. Whether you're part of Super Easy or not, that's not the point. The point of this whole thing was I wanted to show you that if you simply will stop what you're doing and just start from scratch and simplify what you're doing, then you'll actually see the results. Part of your problem is some of you guys, you have zero patience. You have no patience to wait for good setups. You have no patience to wait for anything. And so therefore, you're constantly making a little trade. You win one, which gets you all hyped up, and then you lose two more. Then you win three, and then you lose four. So technically, watch this, write this down. I have said this for the last couple of years. And I think this is a good note to wrap up on. Some of you guys have been saying, I want to be a full-time trader. Type a yes in the box if I'm telling the truth. You said that, I want to be a full-time trader. Type a yes. Come on, tell truth up in here. We're about to close out, but I need you to tell yourself the truth. because the truth will set you free. That's what the Bible says. The problem is, if I wrote the Bible, and I tell my class this all the time, if I wrote the Bible, I would have added one little extra thing. The truth will set you free if you're willing to accept it. And some of you guys, you're not accepting truth. Here's what I said, and I teach my class this all the time. I said, full-time traders are full-time waiters, not waiters in a restaurant, but we patiently wait for the setups that we want. That doesn't mean we're not going to lose trades here or there, but it simply means we come to work, because I consider this a job. This is just a job, you know, and it has some fun benefits. Like my son, he's still enjoying it more than me. See, I didn't allow his journey to be as treacherous as mine. My journey was very treacherous. Yes, I've been scammed and all this. I understand that. I've been through it all. So I don't have the beautiful history and the fun of having a dad who kind of guided me around some of this stuff. I had to go on my own as a pioneer. And as being a front runner, I had to take a lot of hits that I'm shielding them from, and I'm trying to shield you from. So I've learned to be patient and just wait. I have said time and time again that amateur traders are already full-time traders. Go back to what I've been talking about all morning long. PJ has his own trading style now, but he told you himself that he's about to go have breakfast with his wife. He knows when to stop. He's done for today. My daughter Tori, only been trading 3 days, 6 wins, only 1 loss, and we're done. We're done for the day. You, on the other hand, are still going to be looking at charts, still going to be drawing up, I'm marking up my charts. That's the term we use. I'm marking up my charts. I'm marking up, and hours upon hours upon hours upon hours. You do more time on these charts than you do your full-time job. A matter of fact, some of you guys, you're getting threatened at your job because they know you're not productive anymore. Because even when you're at work, you're still sneaking on them charts, using computer time and work time to be looking at the charts, or you staring at your phone when you're supposed to be at work. So you're not even present for work, and you're about to lose your job because of these charts. And you say, I want to be a full-time trader. The deception is you think you want to be a full-time trader. The truth of the matter is you already are. Because you're spending more time on these charts than a professional trader does. You sleep, eat, breathe, and dream about charts. But a professional Forex trader doesn't do that. I love you enough to stop you from your bad habits because I've been through it. I did it. That's why I'm not making fun of nobody. I suffered through it. And it wasn't until I came to complete frustration. And it's like God said, okay, now are you at the end of your personal road? Can I show you something? And that's what I'm trying to do for you guys today. I'm trying to open your eyes. That's why I'm not going to sit up there and mark up charts. No, hey, can you take a live trade now? No, that's your problem. You're so addicted to the market. All you care about is getting another trade, and you are screwed up in your head and you don't even see it because you're dealing with market addiction. And before you open your mouth talking about anybody else dealing with alcoholic addiction, drug addiction, or anything else, you better shut your mouth because you're dealing with your own personal demon of addiction. It's called these markets. Yeah, they got Gamblers Anonymous. What do you think you're doing? And you have the nerve and gall to talk about somebody else because you feel like your little secret about your addiction is private. Nobody knows, because that's what happens when you trade. Ain't nobody around, it's just you on this computer. So your little secret that nobody knows about, but publicly you putting down everybody else, you need to shut your mouth and humble yourself because you just as addicted as the next man. Humble yourself. If I told you to take off 2 days For the rest of this week, I say take off and don't take no more trades. How many people you think could actually do it? Can you do it? Probably not. Why? Because you're addicted to the markets. They have you in the trap. And the problem is you've been trading for a long time and you got all these strategies in your head and yet you still not making no money. Come on now, this is true. The truth will set you free. Somebody said to humble yourself or the markets will. Absolutely. That's what they did to me. It drove me to the end of my ropes where I was so frustrated. Tired of putting in hours upon hours upon hours, marking up charts, drawing my trend lines, looking at this strategy, that. I'm tired. Tired. Exhausted emotionally. And that's where some of you guys are. And I really feel bad for you, not because I feel sorry for you, but because I'm a compadre. I'm a partner in that. I've been through it. I know it's painful. And you have nothing to show for it. And especially if you have a significant other and they ask you the question, so how much money you made today? And they don't mean no harm. You one who talking around, hey, I'm a Forex trader. I'm a Forex trader. And when they ask you how much money you made, you got to fabricate a story. Well, see, I'm waiting for this. No, that's not the truth. The truth of the matter is you didn't make anything. So for all those hours that you've been dedicating to these charts, it was a complete waste of time, truth be told, because you got too many different things going on. You're not simple enough. Notice what my son said. I'm teaching my daughter one simple idea. My son is trading successfully, but he has his own style, but it's just one simple idea. And like he said, I stayed with it and honed my skills on that one idea. You have 50 of them in your head, 50 indicators. I'll share this and I'm done. When people have trouble installing the system, which, I mean, it's beyond easy. We even got the auto installer, but that's okay. We have a service just like Best Buy. Best Buy have a service. If you don't know how to put in memory chips into your computer, which is very easy to do. I saw them do it one time. I said, ain't no way I'm gonna ever pay them again to put some more memory in my computer, because actually it's just take it, snap it in place, and you're done pretty much. Put a glove on so you won't electrocute or short circuit nothing, but just snap it into the place, unsnap one and snap the other one in. I no longer pay them for that, but that's okay. Some people want to do it. We got reported by one of my installers. This person said, I couldn't install your system. Something's wrong. The installer got in there and I didn't even know this existed. And this is some of you guys. That person had so many indicators in their computer MT4 until the MT4 itself would not even allow another indicator to be installed. Because the installer was confused, like, okay, look, it's just routine. Hey, we put it in, you just put this here, and then put your license key in, and there you go, it fires up. And so they kept trying, and they're like, hold on. And they looked at the list of indicators, and they said, let me try something else. So they opened up a dummy broker, created a license key for it, and the system popped right on. And they said, oh, this is the problem. You have so many indicators until even your MT4 said, I ain't taking no more. No, you ain't doing, you ain't putting another indicator on me. I didn't even know the MT4 had a limit to it. Limit. This person had so many until even their MT4 said, nope, you ain't adding another indicator in there. That's some of you guys. You have so many indicators, so many strategies all up in your head until it's like a gumbo pot. You only need 1 or 2 seasons, but you got crab legs, you got shrimp, you have sausages, you got beef, you got this, you got that, you got salt, you got pepper, you got that. And you got all this stuff. And so therefore you don't know which ingredient actually is the one that actually is going to bring you profit and which one don't. You don't even know no more. So you're trying to add all of these all at one time and you're confused. And if you heard what my children said, they're keeping it real simple. And that's why they're profitable. One knows trading very well, the other one don't know nothing. But because they both share one thing in common, keeping everything simple, they're both profitable. All right, you guys, thank you for attending. Hopefully this was a blessing to you again. I didn't want to bring on a professional trader like you guys were, some of you guys were expecting, because that's your problem. Because if I would have brought in another pro trader and they started talking about their trial and this and that, I would have did more damage to you, because you don't need no more styles. You don't need no more. You just need to hone your skills on one or two of your strategies and keep it simple. Now, again, if you want to join Super Easy Forex, welcome. I teach classes every Tuesday and Wednesday. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm right here teaching classes, and the class schedule is in the tutorial steps. I'm right here. I'm here to help you. But if not, that's fine. I don't care. I was just doing this class to show you simplify and you reduce your stress, and then you'll have something to leave for your children. Right now, what you're doing, you can't even teach it to your kids because you're confused. If they walked in and said, Daddy, Mommy, what are you doing? You couldn't really show them. You couldn't explain it to them just that simple and say, okay, just look at these colors, baby. You couldn't do it. And you're embarrassed. Because you know doggone well if a significant, and that's why, let me say this too. That's why some of you guys, your significant other, they're not trying to be mean. You the one walked around and said you a Forex trader. So when they start asking for some results, because you're absentee spouse or a significant other, you're an absentee from them. They're missing you. So if they ask you if the sacrifice that they personally are going through by not having you around them, if they ask you any questions, why are you arguing with them? You getting pissed with them. Well, you know, you need to, I'm not, stop. You're the one told them that I'm making this sacrifice to do X, Y, Z for them. And all they see is you walking out of that office or off that laptop with an attitude all the time. So they want to know what's going on here. And you ready to cuss them out if you haven't already did so. You ain't supporting me. You ain't, no. You're getting angry at them. And the truth of the matter is you know you're angry at yourself. One last blessing. May I ask some of you guys this? And this is out of all love. I promise, out of all love. Can I ask for some of you guys to actually take the rest of this week off? I'm asking, I'm begging out of love. I really do. I'm begging out of love. I wish I would have had an Uncle P when I was going through my journey. Somebody who really actually cared. Because in this Forex market, people don't give a flying fart about you. They just want your money and then they're done. There's no way they'll do a free class for the public just to help you reshape your thinking. They don't care about you. I told you, I was struggling so bad in Forex. I remember to this day, a painful experience. I reached out to this one guy who appeared to be doing very well and successful at trading. I reached out to him and the dude cussed me out and made fun of me and told me to get the F out of here. And all I was doing was asking for help. And he shamed me. He shamed me. I know the pain. So I'm asking you, eye to eye, man to man, woman to man, I'm asking you, could you please just take the rest of this week off and just reevaluate everything? Just take a breath. The markets will be here. Don't worry about it. The markets will be here. They're not going anywhere. And a lot of these patterns, they're going to repeat next week. So you're not missing out on nothing. Well, I'm going to miss out on trade. See, that's your market addiction talking to you again. Why don't you take a break? Go on a Forex vacation, just like you would your job. Sometimes you need a break from your job. This is your job. Take a break. And let this interview soak in. And let me say this to you. If you know you need a break and you don't take off because you cannot detach emotionally from it, you know you're already trapped in the market addiction. And your broker and the market makers love you. They love you because you're giving them money and you're getting nothing in return. And neither is your family, other than your attitude and your anger and missing money from the family pot. That's all your family is getting. And you're getting angrier and angrier, depressed and more depressed. May I beg you to please just take a break. Just for the rest of this week. It's only 2 more days anyway. Just take off, shut down. If you're in a trade and you know it's not working, just close the trade out, please. Just close it and just take a break. Somebody said, yeah, they did that already. Thank you, Miss Jen. Okay. And that's not Miss Jen in our group. We have Miss Jenny. She's a beast at scalping. God, she's in the signal service. Freaking beast at scalping. So that's not her. But this person, they say, yeah, I'm already there. I haven't traded this week. I really am happy for you. There's a lot of people that can't even stop. I was one of them. I couldn't even stop. And if I be honest with you guys, I still struggle with that. That's why I like swing trading, because it gives me the ability to stay in the trade without watching it. Like this, I'm already locked in so much profit on this. Whatever happens, whatever, it's cool. It don't matter. See, that was my way of fixing my own addiction. I'm still struggling with that. That's why I'm teaching my kids to be different from me. I still struggle. That's why I like swing trading, because it gives me the ability to still be in the trade, but not have to watch it. See how I have to find workarounds because I still got so messed up in my own head. A good coach will tell you the truth. I'm not here to impress people. I'm here to tell you what happened to me. Somebody said I'm using Miss Jenny's system and I'm up 1,400 pips on the US 30 right now. Praise God. See, this is people in my group and Steph in the signal service. See, 1,400 pips. Praise God. Right on, Anthony. See, when you learn and you become disciplined, the money will come. But you have to stop what you're doing. Okay? All right. That's enough. You guys enjoy the rest of your week. And thank you for showing up. And I will share this for everybody else who's in my group. I will post this link later on this afternoon for replay. Have a good one.